Yeah, I cut Red loose on it. He got her done. It ain't got a lot. It's got some rust on the bottom of the cowl right there at the bottom on that side. It ain't too bad. I got plenty of sheet metal. I can fix that. Back section. We got just a little bit of rust on the bottom of it. I mean, it ain't bad. I probably won't have to do nothing to that. Got some of the other stuff here I might can use. I don't know, but some of it might can. Just got back from a steel yard. Got 2 sticks of 2x3, 3/16 rectangle frame rail, and took this 08 PHO rust inhibitor. What it does is converts the rust back into metal, but I sprayed that on it. I got this straight axle from my buddy. It's out of a 52 Ford F100. So I got my 8.8 exploder rear end here. The fender tub's gonna have to be cut out. What I'm gonna try to do, is cut them out and move them up. I could put some spacers and move the wheels out, and only had to cut the tubs, but I don't want the wheels sticking way out. I like them just like they are. Okay, I got my trailer spring. It's gonna go on the front. Still waiting on the hangers to come in for that. Got my brake kit from Speedway. Hey, Bo! What, Red? This shop floor look clean enough for you? Yeah, looks good. Looks good. You get good with that broom, ain't you, Red? Yep, get good with this here broom. Come out of a 52 Ford F1 pickup truck. Trim the mounting. Tabs off where the leaf spring is mounted originally. Bored some holes in it. Okay, one suicide straight axle front end. Okay, one rat rod, hot rod frame. I cut 3 inches out of the straight axle, so it's 1.5 inches narrower now than the rear, which is what I'd rather have to start with. On this axle, I cut it like that. And then I welded a 1/4 inch plate on this side and on the other side. I moved the rear fender wells up about 6 inches. And actually, you can't look like they fit like that. That's the way it is made to go to start with. That's as far as I'm gonna stick it together for now. I just want to double check my measurements, so we're good. Still got to put the threaded end on it. They're gonna use tie rod ends on that end. Still got to put the shock mount on there and spring mount. Spring is gonna be about right there. Well, I've been after it for a couple weeks on this front suspension. Of course, not full time, but I probably got 50 or 60 hours in the fabricating all this stuff for this front suspension. But I got her done. That's a lot of parts right there. A lot of cutting, grinding, welding, cut it again, grind it again, weld it again, and repeat until you get it like you want it or you get tired of fooling with it. But I got it like I wanted it. That's what I was looking for right there. That's the vision I had. So dreams come true, you just got to work at it. A lot of parts, a lot of parts. But I think we're gonna be all right. I think it's gonna work fine. If I get on it, jump up and down, it moves a little bit when I put that motor, engine and transmission in there. It should work fine. Should be, I want the axle to be about the same height as that bar across the front of the chassis, so it'd be about 2 inches lower. So that engine and transmission, hopefully it'll drop it down a couple of inches on that spring, and that'd be where we want it at. All right, what I'm about to do here, I'm setting up the molds to pour this liquid rubber, make these bushings. I already done these are already done. Now I gotta do the other two. But what I got a washer with some grease on it, and I got my inside piece. The grease serves two purposes. One, it seals it so the rubber won't leak out the bottom, and it's a release agent so the washer will come off easy. But I got to set that on there. It's going to look like this. And all I got to do is pour the rubber in. Got to get these lined up dead center. Something like that. Get them lined up. Mix the rubber up, pour it in. Got it set 24 hours before you use it. This here set since yesterday evening about 6:30. It's already hard, but it's not real firm yet. It gets as firm as rubber on a tire after it sets up for 24 hours. So this has got a few more hours to go before I can actually use it. But yeah, I wouldn't be showing you this if I didn't know it worked, but that 454 Rat Recon, I built all the bushings, poured all the bushings on it, rear suspension, front suspension, every bushing, it motor mounts, everything that's got rubber bushing, that's what I use right here to do it with. And I hadn't had no trouble with that, so that's the reason I'm showing you this, because it seems to work okay for rat rods. I don't know if it worked for like everyday driver. I don't know how long it would last, but that there's 2015 I built that, and we hadn't had no problem yet. And what's going to happen, these are springs off the rear of a 98 Mustang is what these are. And they were mounted on the control arm about halfway, kind of like what I got here, so we're going to see if they work. But they're going to sit on that perch there and mount up under this frame. And being as I'm not a rocket scientist, to be able to calculate exactly how much spring, compression, and rear end sag, and tire rubbing on the fender, and all that calculations, I got me a big piece of 1 inch all thread. What I'm planning on doing is rigging up some way with this all thread to make an adjustment on this spring so I can adjust the rear end up and the back end up and down. Got the rear suspension done, well, except for the shock mounts. I don't have the shock mounts on yet, but I got pretty much the rest of it. Got my adjustable springs. So what you want this, when the car goes up and down, the rear end stay level. So to get to this point, all the rest of the points is not a big deal. These last 2 points is you got to find a sweet spot between up and down to hook this, where if the chassis goes all the way down, the rear end's level. If the chassis comes all the way up, the rear end level. That's the trick. And as you can see, I got it where the the rear end stays level. This rear end can do this, and this triangle elevated. See, I can do that. With the parallel 4-link, it won't do that. Rear end rigid, it won't do this. Very little, it won't do hardly any. And you got to have a panhard bar on a parallel 4-link to keep the rear end center. Triangulated, you don't have to have the panhard bar, and then you got the rear end to do this. So you can't go side to side with it. The rear end's gonna stay there. Motor's engine is going to have to go back a little bit more. I don't have the rear springs in it right now. Got it kind of stationary at the ride height. Got the shocks mounted. Alright, that's how I looked after I drilled them heads out like that. See, I already got that one off. Got pretty good stance, got it the front a little bit lower than the back, which is what I wanted. Hey, ball! What, Red? These old brake brackets look like they come from a far away than the rest of these parts for this old car here. Them old control arms there on this spindle, why one look different than the other one? What I want to know. They should both look the same, they both do the same thing. Why don't they look the same? Yeah, good point, Red. I guess I'm about to take all that front apart, fix them brackets, fix them control arms, make it look good. Yeah, you need to do all that, ball. One more thing, Bob. That firewall is way too high. You're going to have to drop the front of that cab down some, make it look good. Yeah, I think it's going to look better with that firewall drop down. Building seats. A lot of cutting and welding. A lot of cutting and welding right there. All right, what I got here, I got 3 pieces of number 9 wire, straightened out best I can. I welded this end together, clamped it up in the vise. These pieces of the end are choked up in the drill. So I got it straight as I can, let's see what happens. Not perfect, but it's close enough. Put the seat in there. Let's sit in it, and I could chop 3 inches. I still have 4, 5, 6 inches. I still have plenty of headroom. So I'm gonna chop 3 inches off the top. Yeah, I'm sure there's many ways to chop a top, but I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. I run me a string. Well, first I run the string center. This is where it's gonna come together at, right there. So I got that all the way around, and I dropped the string down 1.5 inches because I'm gonna chop 3 inches. I dropped the string down 1.5 inches. And I use this measuring tool to go all the way around, make sure I'm exactly 1.5 inches below the other mark. So I'm gonna take my yellow paint and spray that line all the way around, and then I'm gonna move the string up 1.5 inches above the line, do it and paint another line. I'm gonna cut the top line first. Take the top of the car off, and then I'm gonna come back and cut the bottom line. I chose the kind of the middle because it's the squarest part, so I should be able to drop that down and it should match. Up here not so much because the front of the door is tapered, gets wider at the bottom than it is at the top. So no matter where I cut it, it's not gonna match up perfect. So I'm gonna cut the top. I'm gonna cut that, and down here make cut 3 inches out up here. That way just I have the least from there up to fix where it don't match. It's not gonna be perfect. And this piece here, I'm just gonna cut 3 inches off the top of that and go with that. Hey Red, about to chop the top. What? Yep, Red, this is really happening. All right, top chopped. Looks good. I just got it stuck together, got it tacked together, just got the doors hanging on there. Still got to make a few adjustments, get things fitting better, but fits pretty good. Not too bad for redneck. Got some adjustments to do there. Got to get that straightened out. Yeah, these hinges, they wasn't that hard to make. Wasn't that bad. I got my door latch. This is my handle. So yeah, hinges wasn't that bad. A couple pieces here and there. Well, a lot of pieces, but that's pretty easy to make. Not much of a problem at all. So I got the original steering box here. I'm gonna clean it up, take the shaft out, take it apart, and get it mounted. I'll mount it in the firewall. Hopefully I want to mount it in the firewall. Cleaned up. Yep, cut the shaft. Y'all know me, I'm not scared to cut nothing. It's gonna have to be cut sooner or later anyway. Got the steering box mounted up in the cowl. A couple pieces of angle iron welded to the frame. I got the nuts tacked on the bottom side. The floor is going to come right on top of this, so this has got to be able to come off because I want to be able to take the cab off the frame. When I get the cab off the frame, I weld me a couple more plates here, brace that up a little bit. This is what it looks like on the inside. I don't have the nut on the pitman arm yet, but when you turn the steering wheel, wheels turn. I still got a pillar block bearing that's going on this shaft. There's going to be probably one by a square tubing going across that bearing a bolt to brace this up. Still may have to brace this, I don't know yet, but I think this pillar block bearing to hold anything from going sideways and up and down. But that's what we're gonna go with right there. You see, I got my new steering arm made that look a lot better. So yeah, we come right along. We got steering now. We got the steering wheel made. Spider wheel steering wheel. Don't have the dash in yet, of course not. Bent piece of 1-inch square tubing to match the curve in this. Tack that in. Works great, no problem. I need a brake pedal, so I've been working on a brake pedal. I've been working several hours on getting the brakes set up. Got the master cylinder mounted. I got a couple braces. I just got it tacked. I'm gonna weld it up. Got the transmission mount did. I got the transmission, the motor exactly where I want it. I got it leveled up. I got the bottom plate motor mount bolted in. This goes here. What I got here, I got that number 9 wrapped around this centerpiece to hold it centered. Hold it centered till I get it welded up. And then after I get it welded up, I could take this apart, pull that out, wire out, and pour rubber in there to have a rubber mount. Okay, I got this bolted in. Just this piece, this is the last piece. You gotta have, in order to make this where I can pull the engine out, back in, motor mount fits and all that. This is the way I build them. I got the motor exactly where I want it. And I got the bottom part of the mount and top part of the mount. So now all I gotta do is put this in, get it in the right spot there, and weld her up. And then I can take the mount back out, pour the rubber in, let it sit 24 hours, then a motor mount will be done. But anyway, just got the bottom part of the radiator mounted. Cut me a couple pieces of angle iron, welded it to the chassis, and then bolted the radiator to that. I stuck some of my parts on that I bought on swap meet on the engine so we can see what it's going to kind of like look like. I got a little mini alternator that's going to mount right here somewhere. I got to make brackets to mount that too. Yeah, I got some headers. I was going to build headers, and I got looking on eBay. Rat rod header is on eBay, and these here showed up for like 138 bucks. I said, man, I can't even buy the stuff to build them for that. As usual, I'm going to make a bunch of small pieces and put them together to make this shroud. It's be a lot easier than try to do it all in one piece. So I got my first piece cut out there. I got a piece of 3-inch Actually, a piece of drive shaft tube is what that is. I'm gonna use to bend the edges there. So let me bend that one, put it in place, and we'll get started. What I got my tube clamped to the table there. Here's my tools. Anyway, I just take this piece of sheet metal, lay over there, and take this block. This is gonna be the top piece. Of course, it ain't gonna be that wide. I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna trim it off after I get it shaped up. Yeah, that's rough. Still got to trim it up. I got a lot of work to do to it, but it's starting to take shape. Ha! I'm digging it, Bob. That radiator trowel looking pretty good. And then I bent them in a nanny right there on the brake. I'll show you what I've done next. Now take the hammer. Get it looking something like that. Then I got me in my press I got, this is just two pieces of angle iron, one against the other. This was my press, this was my brake before I bought that other brake. Matter of fact, this is what I used to make these pieces for the 454 Rat Recon, this right here. And you put that in there, kind of like so. Flip it over. And what you end up with is that. Rigid, real rigid. Can't hardly bend it. I mean, it ain't gonna bend easy. Now the back side of it don't look so great, but you can see, kind of see how I made it. Each one of those little old grill pieces, I had to tack each one, line it up. What I done, put me a piece of 1/4-inch plate middle between each one and weld it one at a time. Put the 1/4-inch plate, pull the other one to it and tag it to get them all kind of uniform. Of course, all it's got to be painted black, rubbed with silver, so antique it with silver. But yeah, I just got it stuck together. Matter of fact, just got the headlights. I just stuck the glass lenses on the headlights, cleaned them up, just stuck them on there. I got some round 3/8 stock, threaded the ends and made my brackets. Working on the firewall, first thing I'll do, cut me out a template. Do one side, cut two pieces, one for one side, one for the other. The good news is that template fits both sides. So once I cut it out for one side, it works on both sides. Yeah, I got her fitting pretty good. Rolled me some beads in it. Just got the magnets holding it in place right now. I gotta cut the old firewall out and then weld that one in. Okay, working on the floorboards. The reason they call it floorboards is back when this car was built, they used boards for the floor. Okay, this is by far the most complicated piece I had to make so far, is sheet metal. It's all the way in the front, transmission tunnel around the bell housing part there. And first thing I done, I went and made a template to fit it close, kind of rough it in. That wasn't easy in itself, but we got there. Then I cut out a piece of metal, And as you can see, it don't fit flat down all the way around. So what I did, took my tool here and went around and marked it in the first hole. In the first hole right there, marked it all the way around. So now if I cut it on that mark, it should fit flat. Then when it gets fitting flat on the table, that means it'll fit flat in the firewall. That's what I want. Go all the way around like that. Scribe tool. Okay, here we go with the scribe tool. This here's curved, so let's get the scribe tool, mark it. See, I got the magnets here, hold this in place. So I'll put the pencil in that hole. Okay. If I cut it on that line, shove it over, it should fit. There's my access for the master cylinder. I put some screws in that. I hadn't welded these pieces down yet because I still gotta, they already fit, everything fits. I want to get the seats mounted and build a shifter. And so I didn't weld these in yet until I get the seat mounted so I can get under there easier if I need to. And here the floorboard, this piece of the shifter is going to be there somewhere. So transmission pieces, I got this rounded edge on this table. I just put that bend a little bit of time, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, back and forth, a little bit of time, and you get it. Shifter is a little old simple stuff. I just welded a nut to this 1x square tubing and run this bolt in till the bottom's out, and use washers on each side of the shifter to shim it to get it tight. Just finished the throttle. Just early 60s Falcon, 65, 66 Mustang, same design as that. I just got a piece of wire on there now to make sure it works. But anyway, yeah, it works fine. Works fine. That's one side of it. Used the other. Then I've been working on the windshield frame, building that. Built the frame out of this 1/2-inch square tubing. I cut one side of it out with a cutoff wheel on a side grinder to make a channel. Then took a flat wheel and put in there and smoothed it all up. And this here's 18 gauge sheet metal. I cut some 1/2-inch strips of that. Kind of what it looks like. This here comes apart, these screws. So the glass company can put the glass in. You take a couple of these screws out and this top piece comes out. And they can put the glass in and then with the urethane epoxy around it and put this piece back in. Right right there like so. Then it's going to screw to the 1-inch tubing. Got the battery box made. It's for a little battery out of a compact car. It's 800 cranking amps, 650 cold cranking amps. Simple, strong battery box is what we got. Alright, got the battery box in there. Well, I don't have 2 bottom bolts in, but I'm going to have to take it back out anyway to paint. So let's see the battery go in there. There you go. Got the dash panel cut out. I took it, rolled up about 1/4 inch this edge. The usual way with pliers, since it's curved, you couldn't put it in the brake. So I took the pliers, bent it up, and a big old piece of iron and the hammer. And the reason I done that is so to have that nice rounded edge on the bottom, which is going to be exposed. So it's got a nice smooth edge on the bottom there. Here comes the hard part. Dash panel. Yeah, that's looking alright. Radiator fan switch. We got an amp gauge, oil pressure gauge, water temperature gauge, and fuel gauge. I got that header piece fixed. Now sun visor. I'm gonna probably bring it back to about here so it'll have a little bit of roof in the front, then let it hang over 6 inches or so. Okay, got the sun visor did. Now we got this. But anyway, I got it using a piece that didn't work, making it something like that because I got to have a way to mark this hole. So I shaped this up to fit this. All right, it's gonna go in there like that. Obviously, it's gonna be cut off flush, and this here is gonna look something like that. This is at the old Ford Exploder out there. It's going to make a cap to hold the light bulb. It's covered in, a couple screws to hold it in so you can take it off. That quote, you don't have to be a good welder, you just have to be a good grinder. Go see it from the side or the back. Then another piece, finish it out, and I cut it off 1.5 inches longer and roll it over just like you would do a door skin on that edge there. This panel, batch panel here, A little complicated, but I got it. Bead roll first, and put it in brake and bend this over a little bit more, and put it in brake and bend this a little bit. Then I put it over my leg, and made this little bend a little bit right there. Light it up, Bob! I'm ready to go burn me some rubber out there. Okay, I'm ready to break it down and paint it. My car fell down. I need to paint another batch, but I don't have no place to hang them up and set them to paint them, so what I'm going to do, I got the frame suspension stuck together. Got that did. I got some more parts. Paint stripper. And then scrape it with a scraper. Then wipe off the excess with a rag and hit it with the wire wheel on a side grinder. And that's what you got. Look that I was wanting because of all the pitting in the metal. See, it's bad back here. Commercial performance coating. So that's where we at. And be done with it. Okay, I installed the calipers and bolted some little tabs for these lines. And I got to come in with a T here because the line's coming from the master cylinder, and it's got a T to that one and that one. So I got to put a line across here with a T. On the rear brakes, got the calipers installed, brake line, made some little brackets to bolt there to hold that, made a little tab to hold that, another bracket to hold this one. So I got to get a brake line come from this one over to there. So what I got, what I done went and got on eBay and ordered me a brake line kit. It comes with 25 feet, 3/16 brake line, and all these fittings. Bunch of fittings. And I'm just using a cheap tube and flare kit. Cheap cutter there, and a cheap tubing bender. You see I welded me some piece of number 9 wire to hold this brake line, plus I'm gonna run the wiring harness. Alright guys, got the engine built. Parts come in quicker than I thought they was gonna come in. So what it looks like when you cut the ridge out and hone your cylinder, the ridge is gone. So yeah, if you're gonna do a re-ring, you gotta cut that ridge out. Scat crankshaft from Speedway. Okay, ready to install the crankshaft. Cam is in there. It's a lot easier to put the cam in first. Check out this ring. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's 19 thousandths. Got the heads disassembled, cleaned up, and they look real good. Wasn't no burnt valves, no bent valves, no problem. Valve guides is not wore out. So now all I got to do is lap in the valves and put them back together. Like the Falcon, when I rebuilt the transmission on it, I'm not going to video rebuilding this transmission because I don't consider myself a transmission builder. Pretty much soak it down with this aluminum paint. Then we'll take a heat gun and dry it out. Like that all over the whole car when I'm done. I went and picked up the windshield from the glass company. You know, you guys seen I built the windshield frame, brought it to the glass company, let them put a piece of laminated glass in it. If I come from here 3 feet over, and from here 4 feet up, and measure from that mark to this mark, it should be 5 feet. So 3, 4, 5. Yellow paint. The most important thing is to get your 90, make sure it's a 90 degree right here. You got to have these lines square. And you want to take a plumb bob from your mark on the chassis and line it up with the mark on the floor, front and rear. Line up the back, plumb bob. Next thing you want to do is hang the plumb bob on the rear end on each side and put your mark on the floor. Then the next thing you want to do is take a ruler or tape measure, something to measure with. And measure from this line to your mark. Okay, here I got 2.5 inches. Okay, this side. Got 2.5 inches. I got lucky, didn't have to do anything. It worked first time. But if it wasn't 2.5 inches, then I'd use this bottom, I adjust this to get it even. You want the same measurement on both sides. And we want to do the same thing with the front. These adjustments right here that I can go up and back to get the front axle lined up. 7/8 inch on this side. I got 7/8 inch on that side. So we got lucky with the front and the rear. It's already lined up. Imagine that. Well, yeah, that's how you square your car up right there. You gotta get it square. Now, if you don't have a plumb bob, you can use a square. Matter of fact, square might be easier for some people. See, I'm lucky. These tires got a little line right down the middle, or several lines. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook the tape measure in one of these grooves and measure this line on the other tire. I'm going to hook that second groove and check this line here. Now I'm going to come on the front side, do the same thing. Hook it on that second groove. Okay, I got it. No problem, turn this right here. 57.5 in the back, and 7/16 in the front. That's perfect right there. I want about a 16th toe in, or an 1/8 inch. I like a 16th inch myself. Got the tail lights in, wired up, tank in. I got my panel mounted, pop ribbeted from the outside of the firewall. And I got my fuse panel mounted on it and 2 relays. And I got room for 4 more relays if I need them. I don't think I'm ever gonna need that on a rat rod. Red. All right, hopefully we got gas. Let's see. Here we go. Them dang spiders been at it again. Let me show you what they done this time. They didn't come in here, put spider webs on both the door panels. Both of them. Suckers. But hey, they did leave me a little cup holder, a little pouch, to put stuff on both sides. Man. I guess they're sitting back there in the daytime, hiding out, watching me, taking notes, seeing how I do stuff, and they figured they'd come do it like I'd have on it with that cup holder and that pouch in there. So, hey, I might put them on the payroll. Yeah, the driver's side. Spider web door panels. Imagine that. Yeah, that'll work. 16 ounces, that'll be enough. Yeah, that'll work right there. Touch up. That's what's so great about this kind of paint job. It's so easy to touch up. Just spray some black on it, let it dry, rub silver over it. I like that. That's kind of cool. I like that one. Huh. Wonder where Bob put them keys at. Yeah. Oh, here they are. Ha ha. You ready, Bob? Okay, big nasty spider. There she is. And she's big. She's pretty big. Some of you guys probably already know the story. Charlotte's Web. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed building this car, because hey, I really did enjoy it, and I think it turned out pretty good. Charlotte's a good car. So yeah, appreciate you. Hey, I'll put it down in the description. I'm gonna put a link to the playlist of the entire build of this car. It's like 86 plus videos, and the link's in the description. So if you want to see more, you're welcome to it. Appreciate you.